Hello, welcome to Sulfur and Seeds. Today, I'm going to be talking about a concept of the Joker, the the jester. What that means. Alan Watts talks a lot about the fool and his role and taking life as play. So I'm going to kind of go off that, piggyback off him. Uh, the worst times in my life is where I'm taking it way too seriously nowadays, at least. I mean, I wish I would have taken it a bit more seriously back whenever I was using drugs and stuff. But I didn't. uh, but you know, there's like a certain degree of care that you have to put into it, and it's not that the jester doesn't care, that the court jester doesn't have any cares or anything, but you can kind of look at the jester as representing he would, his role for the king was to, he would insult the king and make him laugh, and he would, and show his ass to him, and stuff like that. And he was the only person allowed to do that to the king. And that's because court gesture is there to remind the king of his mortality, to remind him that we all die, and so will you. And to remind him to be for the people, and that one day his day will come too. So, who has the last laugh kind of deal, Then you go on to talking about treating the world as play, and the idea of being here on this planet as play, as fun, as a game. And Alan talks a lot about games. That's a lot about games. He even describes a story of how, if God were to want to, like a hypothetical here, if God were to want to experience his creation firsthand, first thing he would do is get lost and play a game of hide and seek with himself. And every time he himself would come upon himself, he'd be startled again. And then, and it would just repeat the process, every time he could experience something new. And I thought that was pretty poetic, the way you put it. Now, treating life like it is play, it helps to get through life for me. To it's not that I don't take things seriously, I it's the best way to put it. It's like living with no hangups, like not being not having these horrible dislikes that or these absolute no's, that that we like to define ourselves by. So having trying to have as little hangups as possible is the way I kind of look at my play in life. Because when you have no hangups, there's nothing that can bother you. There's nothing that can get to you. You should feel certain ways about injustices and all of that, but like if I go to a store and they get my order wrong and they give me something different, or they say they're out of this, but we have that, but we got this one, I will always take whatever they suggest every single time. Sometimes I'll just go to stores and just ask, what do you suggest? What's the best thing here? Or what do you like here? Just to get a different experience than the bland, oh, I want double cheeseburger, or whatever I was gonna get, surprise chicken sandwich, surprise, it could be the best chicken sandwich you ever had, and be like, I didn't even know this existed. When you treat life as play and not so serious, good things come out of it. It's like, and it'll spring forth from it. It really will. When you have no expectations on people, when you uh, just treat it all like a big game, like everyone's an NPC almost, but to them, with their viewing, they're the main character, and we're all the main character in our own story. So, anyways, that's just one of the ways to treat life as play, and it's basically a big game of hide and seek almost. You're constantly trying to find yourself, find out who I am. Who am I really deep down inside? Who, what lies beyond this big old flesh? What lies? What is the deeper meaning behind it all? And like Alan said, when it comes to enlightenment, anyone who says they can lead you down to the road of enlightenment is akin to that of a pickpocketer trying to sell you your own watch. There is no right or wrong way to live your life either, or become enlightened. Either way, it works both ways. No one can tell you how to perfectly live your life or the absolute best way, or there's no set mode for that, and you already have it inside. You already know it within that. And once you some people don't know it though. I mean, but you already have it. Like, for me, I don't take life too seriously because I know that my place among the cosmos you know, is needed. It's not only needed, I am a product and a direct reflection of the universe. And just like an apple tree apples and the universe peoples, there's no right or wrong way to be a person. There's no right or wrong way to be an apple. There's no right or wrong way to be a wave or a cloud, you know? So why would I stress over the majority of what's going on in my life? I mean, I have a lot of shit to be stressed out about, trust me. But and I do get stressed, it's not like I'm some guru. I want to be your guru. I don't know shit. It's a good song. Yeah, check that song out. If y'all want the name of that song, you should hit me up in a comment. I tell you, it's called Guru. You can look it up. But it's by Hey Steve. Anyways, yeah, I just I treat life as a game, as a fun game for me. Like, treat life as something that I can explore and connect with on a fun level. On a you know, you look at things through the eyes of like a child. They see everything in wonder. They have so many questions. They're always asking questions. And that's what I do too. You know, like me, I have a little brother. I'm sure y'all seen him on my channel, Bubba. Well, he's always got questions. Question. And every once in a while, I hit you with a real deep one. I'll be like, ooh, Bubba. Like, one day he asked me what the meaning of life was, and I was like, okay, that's right up my alley. And, kids are so intuitive and, wanting to, always asking questions about things. And they ask questions that are so beautifully put, like how are the stars not falling out of the sky, and like, why is the sky blue? Or like, why am I sad when it rains? stuff like that. And why do I feel happy when it rains? Whatever it may be. And that's the way that you want to see the world, with fresh eyes, with a luminous spirit. And I try to do that. It gets hard, especially with all the loss and all the everything, being a recovering addict. It's not easy to see the world with awe and wonder whenever you've been dealt so much shit. You know what I mean? But I still find it, man. I still find that wonder. I still find that that spark of uh, playfulness. Being fun, having a good time while I live my life, and a lot of that has to do with all that has to do with the things that I've read, the lectures I've read, and some of the Buddhist teachings. And I went to a school for a while for Buddhism. I went to a Theravada temple. I learned about the Dharma, the Sangha, and the Buddha. It's a triple jewel. And I learned uh, Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Noble Path, all the good jazz, And it was a Theravada temple, but they don't see see things the way that I see them. I lean more towards a Zen kind of viewpoint of the world, whereas in they believe that only monks and nuns can become spiritually ordained, as it would be, and also obtain enlightenment. They're the only ones, the lay people, which would be normal people who are Buddhists, who aren't monks and not a part of the monastery, are cannot reach that level. They can only reach. They can only hope for a better next life. So I always thought, you know, it's all great and all, but yeah, I've never been on the search for enlightenment personally. It's never been my like. It's never been the panacea. It's never been something that I'm trying to feverishly obtain. If it happens, that'd be great. And I think, like I said earlier, we already are enlightened. We already have it. So just treating the world as play instead of such serious business. Because everyone's always rushing around trying to accomplish something that they feel is greater than themselves. When really, that those are great accomplishments, but if you bury yourself in your work to get that promotion, I mean, well, if you hate it while you're doing it, then you shouldn't be doing it. I believe. If you hate what you're doing, trying to climb to the top of the corporate ladder, trying to gain position, and it's going nowhere. You could do the same thing, trying to get your position or whatever, but treat it as play. Treat it as, yeah, I'm going to do this, and I'm gonna love myself while doing it and have a good time, because, that's all there is, To me, the most important thing in life is to be happy. Happiness is the only reason to be here. I mean, not the only reason to be here, but your happiness should come first and foremost. I'm not talking about pleasures or anything like that. I'm talking about genuine security within yourself, genuine comfortability within the skin, which the Buddhists talk about, suffering and all that. And dukkha is what that's called. You know, when you focus too much on suffering and that it's everywhere, you'll start seeing it everywhere. And that's the one thing that I don't like about a lot of the Buddhist teachings is suffering, 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 getting rid of suffering, getting rid of suffering, getting rid of suffering. So I get it, we suffer. That's for sure. But, you know, and some of us, the suffering is not optional, and some of us live in countries where it is complete chaos, and can't do that. And they can't live like they play. They can't live life like a play, because they're under threat from bombs and wars and stuff like that. And, I say these things about treating life as play, but there's a subtle nuance to it. There's not, it's not a, it's not a foolproof plan for everybody. And we have the luxury here to be able to treat life a little bit more freely. So why not do it here? Anyways, guys, that's my take on the fool and on the jester. I hope you enjoyed my message. And sulfur and seeds out.